Okay, this is chapter 4 of The Great Gatsby. In your book, it starts on page 65, and in your packet, you are working on page 15. Okay, once again, the audio is linked here if you want to listen to it. That is helpful for some of you. Preview if you haven't started it. You will hear from Nick that he has taking a trip to New York driving, coming into the city, and with Gatsby for lunch. Gatsby's invited him for lunch. And as they're driving, Gatsby tells Nick a story about his past. So pay attention to that, what he says. That is your assignment for your must-do in the packet. It's looking at truth or lie. Reread these sections. So I've just divided those sections into 4 little chunks, and I'm asking you if do you think Gatsby is lying in this or not? And kind of rate that and explain at this point, as you read that chunk of it, do you think he's lying or do you think he's telling the truth? And then why you say that. So I've just chunked that out into, I think, 4 sections of text before you get to the should-do questions. So that's related to that scene. At lunch, Nick is going to meet Meyer Wolfsheim. So who is he? You will now hear kind of some somewhat ugly language from Fitzgerald. He was very anti-Semitic, unfortunately, and that comes across in his description and his conversation as an author writing about this man and this character. Nick is going to run into Jordan Baker. Remember, Jordan is Daisy's good friend, and Jordan's going to tell him the details of her conversation with Jay Gatsby at the party. Gatsby pulled her aside and talked to her, and as she was leaving, she said, you're not going to believe it, Nick. It's the most amazing story. But she doesn't get a chance to tell Nick what happened in their conversation between her and Gatsby. So she's going to do that in this chapter. And she also has a really interesting story about her past life with Daisy 4 or 5 years earlier, and how Daisy married Tom, why she married Tom, and what is the history that she knows between Gatsby and Daisy. And then you have this video clip of us visualizing that scene of Jordan's flashback to Gatsby and Daisy. So it's really interesting, and it matches exactly what's in your text. So I think it's really helpful. So if you have questions, ask me. We have the mid-unit summative pivotal passage coming up. I'll talk about that a little bit this week. You'll have a chance to prepare some notes on it in your 3 columns if you want to. That is your should-do assignment if you want to. Otherwise, at the end of the week, if you have that or not, you'll be writing your mid-unit summative paragraph response to that. So we'll talk more about that in class.